'Tis a new season, my friends, and with that new fall season upon us, it is time to do a little seasonal makeup bag switch up. If you missed the vlog where I was switching over my everyday makeup video, then feel free to check it out before starting this video. But today I'm going to be showing you my updated everyday makeup look for fall. I've updated some of the products in my bag, I've added in some fun little deeper fall colors for the lips and the cheeks, and I also have a few new little tips that I've been incorporating into my everyday makeup routine, so obviously wanted to update you, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So here we are, friends. Happy fall. Let's talk about this updated everyday makeup look, and we'll zoom you in and get started. Now, when it comes to my everyday makeup, I am constantly trying to condense the amount of steps that I have and the amount of products that I have. I know like I've got a lot of products here, and I've been consistently using these products for many, many months now, as you guys have seen, but it's always fun to see what is different from the previous looks, but also areas we've been able to condense in, and that is first starting with my base. So I've already applied my skincare. I've got my serum and my moisturizer on, and in my everyday makeup, I've kind of been moving away from primers, and that's been consistent for a few months now. And I think it's just because I'm really happy with my skincare routine, and I'm not feeling the need for that extra dose of like glow or hydration. Obviously, when I do like more glam looks and I do more full coverage, it's kind of fun to play around with different primers. But for the most part, when I'm standing here in the bathroom and getting ready for the day, and I just want something to slap on real quick onto my face, and because we are in the fall season, it's still like between the warm and cold weather. It's not quite the winter, freezing Canada winters. So by the time winter rolls around, I might feel differently. I might want to add a little bit more of an extra dose of hydration in my everyday makeup. But for now, I've just condensed all of the bases, and I've decided to go for a tinted sunscreen in lieu of everything. We're axing the primers and we're axing the foundation, and I'm just choosing a sunscreen that has a little bit of a tint in it to just kind of do all the things that I need for my base. So I recently tested this one out. This is new to me. This is the Roche Posay Fluid Tinted Mineral Sunscreen with SPF 50, and it's safe for sensitive skin. Love the packaging, also love the finish. I love the tint in this. So I'm gonna give it a good little shake, and I'm going to apply this with my fingers. I still haven't decided what my preferred method of application is, but for now, I like this little, you know, spout that we've got here, and it's just easy to pour it onto my face. I'm just putting it all over, and I'm just gonna rub it in with my fingers. It also applies beautifully with a brush. But for myself, for everyday makeup, I do love to have a super light coverage base, like even if I'm using a tinted moisturizer or a foundation, just something to kind of even out my skin tone, because I do have a lot of discoloration and markings and whatnot in my skin. So I always like to have a little base, and being able to do that in the sunscreen is very nice. I don't necessarily need that extra layer of a foundation when I'm just doing a quick everyday makeup, and something like the sunscreen that I can just apply so easily. It blends in so beautifully. I saw so many people talking about it on TikTok as well as Instagram, and I was so curious to try it. A few of the Shoppers Drug Marts that I went to were completely sold out. I think I went to 3. I had to go to 3 to get my hands on it, but it is available on a ton of places online, so you can definitely find it. And just the particular shade for me is so perfect. And any tint or tan that I had from the summer has completely left me. It was like instantaneous. Said see you later. Or maybe I was just a lot more diligent with my sunscreen this summer. So I'm just feeling pale. And so the shade for every day, perfect. So that's the tint on. Love the finish. It's so good. I'm so excited about this discovery and condensing my base routine in the morning further. So before I forget, I'm gonna go ahead and do brows. I absolutely almost skipped over this step. This is my e.l.f. brow lift, which I love so much, and I'm gonna put this on, give a little lift to my brows while we finish up the rest of the base, and that will give it time to just set the brow hairs up and give it time to dry so we can apply our actual, you know, filling in the brow products later. So I'm just gonna set this in. So now we're gonna let the brows hang out and set and dry. Let's move on to concealer. Like I said, I'm feeling a little bit pale, so I actually went and picked up the lighter shade of my Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. I got this one in the shade 5, which is the perfect little lighter match for me. And I'm still keeping 5.75 in my everyday makeup bag just for those days when I do have a nice little self-tan on. But in the meantime, I'm going with the pale shade, and I'm gonna use this to add concealer all over my face where I want it. I'm just having a moment with this. There's a lot of concealers, honestly, that I just love and will happily keep in rotation in my makeup bag, but this one's just really nice. It's just like softer, it's a little bit more light, and I feel like just soaks in and blends in. The, you know, NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer and the Makeup Forever Self-Setting Concealer, those concealers are more like medium to full coverage. So for every day, I just don't really care to have all that much coverage, honestly. I still apply a lot of it. I just like to be a little bit more specific with where I place it, doing a little bit of highlighting under the eyes. I also apply this around my mouth. I actually, listen, the period is ravenous right now, and oh my God, like day one was just like, boom, hit it with a huge breakout all over my face. But I don't really mind having a little bit of that peeking through. Like, I don't care to like be so specific with my spot concealing and whatnot just for every day, but I will just put a layer of concealer over top of that just to let it soak in and do its thing. So once I apply the concealer, I take my Benefit Professional Setting Spray. I love this so much. And I just do a nice little spritz of that around. Depending on how much time I'm giving myself in the day, I will either just go in with my foundation brush, or I will take the time to soak my Beauty Blender. Kind of just depends on how I'm feeling. We're gonna take the Beauty Blender for a little roll today and just use that to blend it out. And then just right in the inner corner, I just like press the concealer in there, and any excess just go right over top of my eyelid. And I'll just do one little spritz. Honestly, like when I'm doing my cream products, I just spritz this setting spray in between every single one. Even when I'm doing quick makeup, I'm just like constantly layering on the spritzes of setting sprays. It just feels so good. So moving on to cream contour / cream bronzer, I have decided to just do a little project pan moment of my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate contour. We are slowly, honestly, making our way through this, and I was actually really curious to see when I bought this, and I went back and I saw that it was August 2019 was when I bought this. After watching a Katie Jane Hughes masterclass and seeing her use it in real life, I had finally bit the bullet. And to be honest, the amount of times that I have used this over the last 3 years, like, it has just proven itself worthy over and over and over again. I have gotten so much use out of this, and the fact that it's been 3 years blows my mind. However, once this is done, I don't think it's something I'm gonna repurchase, because I just really desperately want them to take this contour and make that an individual product. I just really don't use this highlight at all, and it just wouldn't be worth it for me to buy this again, but I absolutely adore it. It's such a beautiful formula. I'm gonna keep that on hand. It's in my makeup bag. I plan to use it. However, I also wanted to bring out my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. This one's in the shade Tan Lines, because specifically right now when I'm feeling a little bit more pale, when my skin tone is a bit more au naturel, it's a lighter shade. It's a bit lighter, so I'm gonna start with this. If I wanna deepen it up, I will add in a little layer of this, but for now, I'm just gonna take my Smith 157 brush, soak the brush with this stunning little cream bronzer, and we're gonna put it all over the face. I'm starting on my cheeks. Oh yeah, the shade is so good. It's so good! Ah! And I'm just gonna blend that all up. I'm trying to go higher and higher. I'm really trying to rock that whole Kevin Kodra moment of the bronzer. So I'm just kind of taking it on the top of my cheekbone, and I blend it kind of over top of my eyelid, just going right up in there. And I think that bringing it onto the eyelid like that, just like diffusing it into the bronzer on the face, just makes it look so much more natural. So doing that on the cheeks, and I'm taking it onto my temples, a little bit on my chin right here. And then I'm grabbing a smaller little brush and taking that on my nose as well. I'm actually just gonna hold on to that little brush and pick up a bit more of the product, and I'm just gonna take that right onto my eyes. I did this for a long time and I've kind of stopped. I don't know why, but I've decided to reincorporate applying whatever cream bronzer I'm using onto my eyelid and literally just flopping that all over. We can set it with powder after, but I just like the way this looks, and I don't know why I stopped, to be honest. Okay, next up we're moving on to cream blush. You guys, I'm so excited about pulling this back out for fall. This is my beloved Charlotte Tilbury Color of Passion Pillow Talk Lip and Cheek Glow. And I think we'll just put it on the lips. This isn't what I'm going to wear on my lips today, because I have something else that I want to show you. However, when we're talking about condensing steps and making it nice and quick and easy in the morning, definitely want to go for that monochromatic look, and using a product that you can put on your cheeks and lips obviously is amazing to to do that. So you can apply this with a beauty blender, you can apply it with your fingers. I'm just really loving using my Refer 04 brush, so I'm just gonna dab that in. I can tend to go a little bit overboard with this, so I'm just gonna start lightly and going on both of my cheeks, and then I'll just brush the brush into the palm of my hand just so I don't apply too much, and then I will go ahead and blend that in to the cheeks. And I'm kind of just going on my natural like blush area, so I'm bringing it up the cheek, following where we applied that bronzer, and kind of just bringing it a little bit closer to the nose. Blend, 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 blend until we are happy with how it looks. I'll take a little bit just on the nose like that. And then what I do is I just go back in with the beauty blender and I just really lightly press that on this like under eye triangle where we applied the concealer. And doing that just kind of helps to diffuse any line that we might have created with the blush. It just helps kind of put it together. I am obsessed with this shade. I'm so happy they brought it back as a permanent color, and it's such a perfect shade for fall, truly. Like the color just screams fall to me, and you can really like build up the pigment if you want, or do something like this that's super natural and just juicy and delicious for every day. So we love you, so happy that you're back. And then let's talk about the powder, because I don't know what happened. I was so excited about getting these little triangle puffy puffs on Amazon. And using them for my loose setting powder. This is the Givenchy powder, which I love and adore so much. Would love to find a dupe for this for sure, because it's expensive, but the color is just really nice. I just really like it. If you guys have any other setting powder favorites, please let me know in the comments down below. But until then, I did splurgeth on this powder, so I'm going to use it. And yeah, I don't know why I stopped using the puffy puff. I was just using a brush, and I have been kindly reminded to pull this out thanks to TikTok. So I'm just dipping the puffy puff into the powder, taking the excess off on the back of my hand. Wow, that's a lot of excess here. Then I'm gonna push my finger into the creases of my under eye that have been created, and then I'm pressing the little powder puff into there and just using that to set my under eyes. And to be honest, sometimes like if I'm really running late for my everyday makeup, I literally just splash some of my Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder on. But if I do have a little bit of extra time, this really does just make such a difference in the under eye. And because I have such large visible pores here, it's just been something that has really changed my everyday makeup game and my makeup game in general. So I don't like to skip it these days. So I put that under the eyes. It's magical. And any excess powder, I'm just gonna put that around the other areas of my face to set. We're gonna pause the face for now. Let's move on to the eyes. I wanna talk to you about my liner, because you guys know for the last little while, I mean, always, like always, I love a liner moment. But I've really been into the brown liquid liner, and a recent hack that I saw on TikTok from Kevin Kodra, obviously. If you don't follow him, he's amazing and has so many fabulous tips, and his makeup is flawless. His skin is flawless, truly. And he posted a video talking about the eyeliner hack. And I used to just always like go from the outer corner of my eye and connect it to the tip of my brow. And he's like, if you're doing this, you're doing eyeliner wrong. And he said to follow this line of your brow, which doesn't really technically work for my brows. But regardless, just doing the line at a different angle, not connecting it to your brow, but taking it like for me, I have a lot of like little wrinklies here, and so I've not necessarily been following this line, but just kind of going right below that, where before I would go straight up and connect it to the tip of my brow, but lately I've just been doing a little bit of a wider, more straight, kind of more horizontal line, and it's really been making such a difference in my everyday liner. It's been so much easier to apply, and maybe because of this hack, I am swiftly and surely becoming like a daily liner person, and I'm so into it. Currently have the MAC Brush Brown, which is such a fabulous, fabulous brown liner, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do the little liner. So I'm just looking straight into my little mirror here, and I just take it out and just try to be really quick about it and just draw a little line. If I feel like it's not pointy enough, I'll just take a little brush and drag out that end. But this might be not that monumental as you're watching it, but I hope you guys understand what I mean. And just this particular angle, making this lower angle of the liner, has been so game-changing for the shape and the application and the look of my eyeliner, and it's blown my mind. And I've been wearing it every single day. So then I just connect it, and I go right about to the center of my eye, fill it in. And that's the liner done. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take my Lancome Lashy Doll Mascara and just put a good amount of this onto my upper lashes. For my everyday makeup, I don't really touch my lower lashes. I don't worry about it. And I have to say, I've been very curious about trying a brown mascara. I believe that's something I've done at one point or another in my life, but I've just been curious. I wonder how I would feel about incorporating that in my everyday makeup. Anyway, until then, this mascara is perfect. I'm gonna take a tiny little brush and dip it into my Inglot little shadow trio here, just dipping between the two deeper shades. And I'm just gonna take a tiny little bit of that and just put it right into this inner corner. And if you watched my last everyday makeup video, you'll know that I've been doing some variation of this instead of highlighting my inner corner like we did for so many years. And I feel like it just gives a little bit more of a foxy, sensual look to the eyes instead of a beaming spotlight staring into your soul. So just adding a little bit of that. I guess we should finish these brows, huh? Okay, I'm gonna take my Benefit Microfilling brow pen. I'm gonna use this to just draw on the lines, whoop, and fill in my brows. Now, I'm happy to leave the face like this. I don't necessarily need to go in with any more powder products on top, but if you wanted just a little bit more color, a little bit of a glow, I do love to finish with a little shimmery bronzer. You could also layer up a powder blush on top if you wanted, but I'm happy to leave it like this. But I'm just gonna do a little dusting, just a little dusting of the Benefit Hoola Glow Bronzer. I'm using my Rephr 05 brush for this, and I just basically go on top of the cheeks here, and it just adds a little extra something something. All right, and finally, my friends, let's talk lips. Still going through the nubbin, Victoria Beckham 02 lip definer. I just love this shade, and I shall continue to use it until it is done. And I'm just gonna go ahead and line my lips with this. And I'll just soften those edges with my pinky, blend it into my whole lip. So for fall, there's so many lip colors that I'm so excited to be bringing out, shopping the stash, lots of new in products. But I did take a little trip to the drugstore and I wanted to see if there were any new shades or what was going on with the Revlon Lustrous Shine. Is that what it is? Oh, sorry, Super Lustrous Shine lipsticks. And I did pick up 3 new shades. If you guys have been around my channel for a while, you know my obsession with this particular formula from Revlon is so good, and it is an absolute, like, it just tops truly any lip balm formula that's out there. It's so good, it's so juicy and delicious. And I got a couple of deeper, fun shades for the fall. So I picked up shades 6, 7, and 12. I feel like I've seen 6 before, but I didn't have it in my collection, so. They're so perfect. Okay, here's the 3 shades. This is the shade 6, Sparkling Honey. This is the shade 7, Glazed Mauve. I think these 2 are such a nice, like, update to my everyday neutral shades. And then this is the shade 12, Black Cherry, for that, like, deeper pop of fall deliciousness, like fall and winter. Just like, oh, I am obsessed with these colors. And they say new. It says new on it, so I don't know if they're new shades or what, but that's my assumption. But was very excited to pick these up and add them into the everyday makeup pile, because this formula is just stunning, truly. So I'm gonna take the shade 7, the Sparkling Mauve, because I feel like this or Sparkling Honey, honestly. It's so stunning. They're so glossy and juicy and delicious. And I think that actually goes with the blush very nicely. What do you guys think? If we wanted to deepen it up even more, we could just add a little bit of that shade 12 on top. Stunning, I love. Perfect new shades for fall. So excited about those. And that's the finished look, my friends. This is a little sneak peek into my current go-to everyday makeup look with a few little fun twists and bits for fall and the new season that is upon us. I am so excited. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the new products that have been switched up in my everyday makeup bag. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Let me know what products you are using and loving for fall. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how this makeup look turned out. And I will see you very soon for a new video.